Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Huobi Podcast. What is Huobi Podcast? Huobi Podcast will keep you updated on the news and events in the cryptocurrency industry. We'll also invite some key influencers to provide their take on the industry, share their insights, and their story on how they became a success. Changing the world through blockchain technology. Up next on the Huobi Podcast is Philip. He is the co-founder and CCO of UTRUST. Stay tuned to listen to it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special guest for today. His name is Philip. He's the co-founder and CCO of UTRUST. Welcome to Huobi Podcast today.
Thank you, John. My pleasure.
Great. I'm glad to have you on the show. UTRUST is listed on Huobi Global, so we just added a new pair. I don't know if you got told about that, but I'm really excited to have you on the show.
Absolutely. Of course, I've been involved with all major decisions on the project, and we're very happy to be listed as well. And it's a pleasure to be here and for the rest of the community to, talk a little bit about ourselves and answer any follow-up questions.
Great. To give you an idea of what the community was interested, because I asked them questions, they want to talk about use cases and UKT. It's obviously on the forefront of everyone's mind. What is the use cases? What's going on in the crypto community? Why is your token useful? But first, we're going to talk a little bit about you and UTRUST. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So my name is Filipe. I'm the co-founder of UTRUST. I've been involved in cryptocurrency for a number of years now, since late 2012, actually, when I joined Bitcoin Talk. I was initially curious about Satoshi's white paper and Bitcoin potential, and for a couple of years delved into trading, its dynamics. But those were some exciting years with some prominent projects coming to the spotlight. Yeah, it was a crazy period. Gradually, I become more and more interested in some specific projects and their application in cross-border finance, which actually culminated in the creation of UTRUST. I continue to look at the markets, although right now I prefer to keep more of a low profile and focus more on UTRUST and the work that we've been developing with the team. So in a nutshell, I've been here for a long time, although I don't have like a very specific or very prolific profile, unlike other crypto people in this space.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're in the UTRUST team, so that's amazing in itself, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you hold all Bitcoin, or you just hold UTK?
Well, usually I don't talk about personal holdings, but of course, as most of the people invested in this space, I guess every single one of us has his own personal bag. So I think that's the case with all of us. So the short answer is yes. I believe Bitcoin, it's absolutely something that every single person on the planet should allocate at least a very small portion of their savings. It's a long-term investment in their portfolio. But of course, I'm not one to provide financial investment advice. And UTK, absolutely. It's our bread and butter. It's our project. And I think this is a very interesting project for everyone to take a look out there. And if they're very keen to take a deeper dive.
Sure. So why not like something else? Why UTRUST and not something else? Like what makes this project that you're involved in so much different than any other of the 2,000 cryptocurrencies and the websites all around?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. Actually, let me drill it down to the concept. But the actual concept of UTRUST originates from a series of less positive experiences with other services that we use to pay with cryptocurrency. We see this as not so much as a project, but as a platform. Due to those past experiences that we had with other payment gateways, this involved actually a lot of not so pleasant online shopping experiences when we attempted to pay with crypto online, but unfortunately, in those early days, we kind of didn't get our product nor our crypto back. So it was not a very pleasant experience. And we decided at that moment that we should build something better. something easier to integrate for merchants, more user-centric, appealing, and that could be used in the future for the mainstream market. We wanted to provide a single point of integration, allowing any merchant in the world to accept multiple cryptocurrencies and stablecoins now, while settling in their bank account, easy and simple for them. Well, this alongside other payment options, of course, allowing them to capture an entirely new user base, allowing them to de-risk as merchants, not to be exposed to the volatility of crypto, but accepting crypto. Moreover, providing significant cost savings versus traditional payment options, with highly reduced risk of fraud and no chargebacks. It's a really, really good value proposition for merchants. And for users, of course, allowing them to spend their crypto directly in an online channel and in an increased user merchant base without the need to, converting and significantly decreasing costs in doing so. Of course, as that, including the hassle of making a purchase when using any wallet they choose. So I think those are the very critical properties of the UTRUST project that we wanted to bring to the market at its inception.
Nice. Yeah, it's really clear. Like accepting payments online, it's only going to get bigger. The industry is huge. I think it's an amazing idea for using crypto within e-commerce stores and accepting payments.
Yeah, that we really believe this is part of our future. If you look at the landscape and the evolution of blockchain and crypto assets, you see that more and more players want to get into this market. It started with a community movement. Now bigger companies are joining the fray. Now payment-related companies are interested in this space. Companies are allocating part of their treasury to crypto assets. So the market is definitely heating up, and the number of focused use cases will only increase, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree completely. I mean, there's so many people that buy stuff online just because of the fact of everything going on in the world. Just makes it simple and easier, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So I know there's one cryptocurrency we talked about previously that's pretty well known in the communities. It's Ripple. And then you have PayPal that just opened up for e-commerce within their eBay, and all these things are happening really fast pace. Like, how do you all fit in that ecosystem? Do you have any ideas of what's going to happen?
Yes, so that's a really, really good question. So if you look at the payments landscape in its wider scope, and in comparison with other projects out there, I think we are quite unique. We are not a single protocol, but as I mentioned, it's a platform. Our vision is to build an all-encompassing platform focusing on merchant payments and supporting a wide range of cryptocurrencies as payment options. If you compare us, I think a fair comparison would be to Adyen and PayPal in this spectrum. What we do is actually quite similar to what they do on the fiat currency side, but in cryptocurrency, in the crypto world. Any merchant can integrate us using industry standard plugins, Magento, WooCommerce, WordPress, and start accepting multiple cryptocurrencies while receiving in their bank account. The user, of course, chooses their preferred cryptocurrency and pays from the wallet of their choice. They can use any of the wallets. We want to empower the user in this regard as well. But on the merchant side, they receive the payment in their native currency, euros, British pounds, or other native currency, in their bank account directly, just like any other order in their website at the checkout time. There's no need for them to worry about the volatility, about the difficulties of holding or choosing protocols or handling cryptocurrencies in your treasury. It's just like any other payment integration, easy and simple. Nice. We believe that we are the top platform in this space. And if you look at the quality and the scope of the merchants onboarded, I think we're really having a positive momentum. Our fundamentals are solid, and it's no coincidence that among other blockchain companies in our segment, we've captured the interest of top tier venture accelerators, 500 startups and Alchemist accelerators, which we are very proud to be part of. Adding to this, we also branching out in specific business solutions as part of the ecosystem, building upon our core technology, such as a dedicated invoicing solution that we are beta testing with some merchants that allows merchants or businesses that don't have necessarily a checkout flow, a cart in their website to invoice other businesses or users for cryptocurrency payments and receive in fiat. So the same kind of workflow, but without the association to an online checkout process. Now, we are also complementing this with a user-focused revamped wallet that we will bring further utility to the token, and we'll get into that as well. And this is something really, really amazing that we're proud of, the Hold wallet, which is powered by UTRUST technology, which not only allows trading in the app, but allows users to have their own debit card, which is linked to their account in cryptocurrency and others.
A lot of things that you guys have built. It's really amazing to hear how it's all coming together.
Yes, it's been quite a long journey. We started back in late 2017, so the early years were not easy, but building technology again, it's never a short journey. We're here for the long run, and we're very proud of what we have built so far.
One thing that people always want to ask me about is the mechanism with governance. And I know that's what a lot of people want to know, like how much is on the supply side, how much is in the exchanges, what's the allocation? Can you kind of talk about like how you're allocating the project's tokenomics?
Absolutely. I think the answer here is very straightforward. Our token as a driver of utility of all aspects of UTRUST's payment ecosystem has a fixed supply. There's 500 million tokens and no more will ever be created. Of those, 90% was publicly distributed back in late 2017. And with the remaining 50 million locked for a period of 5 years allocated to the team. We believe this major distribution and allocation is essential as a baseline for any healthy token ecosystem. So as you can see, most or the overwhelming majority has already been distributed in open markets. And we believe this is key as a cornerstone of a healthy ecosystem. We try to keep the driver of the community more engaged and alive, but we try to channel that through the actual use of the associated products, which believe it will bring along very interesting dynamics for the associated token use in all its components.
Who are you partnering up? Is there any big news that's going to maybe have them more excited about holding the project's token? Can you share with anything that's going on maybe in the future?
Well, we continuously work on business partnerships and new opportunities. So I think we focus a lot on specific business opportunities that drive more transactions to our platform, more adoption on our products, which by proxy increases the size and visibility of our token economics and our team. So we have more direct, measurable approach in all of our partnerships. Of course, we focus on this, and this is the case since the platform had its go live in mid-2019. As a company, we do have an established business roadmap, and we continue to be on track with all its developments. Since early this year, we have achieved actually many extra goals. We opened onboarding for any merchant, added support for USDT stablecoin as a payment currency. We launched WooCommerce plugin, among many others. We're beta testing invoicing solutions. We are adding, I think, merchants at if not weekly, bi-weekly, we announce new merchants on our platform, which is, of course, open, but sometimes there's a special merchant that we want to give special mention, such as a player in real estate or a player that showcases something special in that sector of activity. And of course, we're creating an ecosystem of solutions that solve real problems, drive real growth and transactional volume for merchants, and of course for users. We believe that those solid fundamentals and the announcements every time we have a solid and measurable partnership create a solution that is really, really positive in terms of its dynamics for all of our holders. Not only this, but the launch of Hold, powered by UTRUST, which will bring additional use cases for the UTRUST token, namely its reverse staking, will hugely increase the rate and adoption of all of our components as part of our global platform.
So let's go ahead and turn it over to like a little bit about you, because you're a part of the team. People want to know who you are. Something fun I always want to ask people is, do you have any special human tricks or something that people need to know about?
Well, that's that's a kind of tricky one. I think most people say that I sleep very little, just 4 or 5 hours per day, sometimes 3, sometimes 2. And that kind of makes me a little of a workaholic on top of everything that's happening. I guess it comes with the nature of the 24/7 cycle of crypto markets, but I think that's something that I have as a quirk. Sleep very, very little and always on top of everything that's happening on the markets, or at least I try to.
So you must drink a lot of coffee or have some kind of caffeine.
Well, I do. I'm a coffee lover, actually. I love different blends of coffee, but I actually drink more tea than anything else, especially green tea and matcha. I'm very, very much of a fan of tea, I would say, more than coffee, actually.
What do you want to be remembered for in blockchain and cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I think that's it's probably the most, or the question, or the most interesting one. I think all of us, when we choose to dedicate our lives to something, to our work, we want to be remembered as doing something important. In this case, it's being one of the pioneers in bringing cryptocurrency payments to the mass market, to having a positive contribution to the world. In every single time period that we live, there's a key innovation that comes along and changes everything. I strongly believe, with the rest of the core team members, that this is it for this time period. This is that piece of technology that will, and it actually is changing everything, and will continue to change and disrupt our way of life, finance, many of the fundamentals that have been true for many decades or centuries, but are now reached a critical stage where things are forced to change. And I believe this is it. So what best to take part, active part in this change, and contribute and be part of history in shaping how this will affect future generations. I think this is the best I could hope to achieve in my lifetime.
It was really great having you on the show, Philip. Once again, he's the co-founder and CCO of UTRUST. Again, UTRUST is a blockchain-powered borderless payment technology. Thank you so much for being on the show, and I wish you have a great success with your project.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure, guys. Visit us, and please take care. Stay safe.
Well, that about wraps it up. Again, thank you so much to our special honored guest from UTRUST UKT, Philip. Thanks for taking the time out to be on our special episode of UTK. Also, shout out to our sponsors. They make things happen. And this sponsorship is completely to CoinMarketCal. If you don't know about CoinMarketCal, check them out on the web, coinmarketcal.com. And they are on Twitter at CoinMarketCal. Check them out. And if you're interested in being a guest on the next episode, please send us a message on our Twitter at Huobi Global. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.